Hi everyone, welcome back to Reporting from Christendom. My name is Madison Beauvais, and today I'm going to talk about my experiences with different worship styles. So to start off, I grew up in a Christian home, and my whole life up until high school, my family attended the same non-denominational church in my city. This church had a really big sanctuary and big stage, and worship was very dramatic. They would turn the lights down all the way, and there was a big worship band with big screens with the words on the screens and stage lights going on. And I really liked it. It wasn't uncommon for people to be raising their hands. Everyone would stand the whole time and sing. It was very energetic. And it was for about 15 to 20 minutes of the church service, leaving about 45 minutes for the sermon. That is something that has been consistent through my whole life, is not liking sermons. I am not sure what it is. I just have trouble sitting through them. I feel like my eyes glaze over. I feel like more times than not, I don't get that much from them, which there's definitely been sermons that I've enjoyed, but they're few and far between, unfortunately. So overall, the form of the church services that I grew up on was like 15 minutes of praise and worship, which I loved, and then about 40 minutes of a sermon. And then maybe another worship song at the end, but more often than not, the church service is just over after the sermon. The next form of worship I encountered when I was studying abroad, and my classmates and I were required to go to this Anglican church on Sundays. Well, it depends what Anglican church you go to, because they can vary in what the church service looks like. But this Anglican church was more traditional. It was in a big, beautiful church that kind of resembled a cathedral. I mean, not big enough to be one, but it was a grand church. And the worship style was liturgical. So that means that there are set prayers and songs and creeds to form the flow of the service. At this particular Anglican church, the Sunday service was 2 hours long, which was just insanely long to me, because I already thought my normal 1 hour church service felt long. This was just too long, but that was honestly the one thing I didn't like, because I liked everything else. They had praise and worship, they had the liturgy, they had a sermon, which usually was not that long. It was normally like 20 minutes, which to me was better than the 45 minutes. I also really appreciated how communion was done every service, and we would go up to the altar and kneel for communion. And I also enjoyed the liturgy because I felt more engaged throughout the service, because most of the time there was something to do, something to sing, something to say, something to repeat or respond to. So I really enjoyed it. The next form of worship that I've experienced is at Catholic masses. So a Catholic mass is just a Catholic church service. They just call it a mass. And very, very similarly to the Anglican service, it is very liturgical. It has the set readings and prayers and songs, but the biggest difference is there's no typical praise and worship that I'm used to. There are hymns sung, but it's not in the same style, and people don't raise their hands and sing super loud or anything. So that is something that I miss when I've been to a Catholic mass, but other than that, I really enjoy it. And surprisingly enough, the Mass is typically shorter than even an hour. Most of the time it's 50 minutes in my experience, which is a surprising fact, I think, because if Catholicism is very, very traditional, you would expect the services to be even longer, which I'm sure that there are some very long church services that exist in Catholicism, but in my experience at different Catholic churches, the Mass has pretty consistently been like 45 or 50 minutes, which to me is great. Another difference that they have is that the sermon the priest gives is usually pretty short, normally around 7 minutes, maybe even a little shorter, maybe 10 minutes, which I love, as I've said. And then another element about the Mass that is different is that along with the liturgy, there are times when you stand and when you sit and when you kneel, which might be kind of funny if you've never experienced it, but once I did experience it, I came to appreciate it because it engaged me in the service even more. And I think there's something powerful about everyone kneeling. So overall, I've discovered that I like more liturgical forms of worship. I feel that it is more reverent and that I feel more involved during the whole service. But I know that there are many, many other forms of worship within Christianity I have yet to experience. Thank you for listening to Reporting from Christendom. Tune in next time.